Screw you, guest star. All right, let's try this again now that we're in another tool and another technology. How many different tools can we use today? I think first we've already had an audio issue. We've had StreamYard. We've had OBS. We've now also had, what other tools can we have here?
We could also try just going onto Google and just getting hundreds of different tools for us.
Tools. Yeah. I think let's just kind of keep finding more and just hundreds of if you're building a tool, let's test it. You don't need to test it. Just go. Ship straight to production. It's what does all this mean? Let's just keep making it happen because this is chaos. Well, thank you so much for the patience of getting that. And I think our users are like, you're chaos, Aaron. You're chaos. You're straight chaos.
But my audio is coming through nicely, so we're all good. We're ready to go.
You can hear us now. That's the fun. You can actually hear what we're doing. It's a little fun adventure when it's just a fun adventure. That's all that it takes. We're doing an adventure. It's part of the journey. But yeah, thanks for handling all my chaos. I swear, I promise I've done this before, but apparently not. We're gonna do it again. So starting it from the top, I guess. I'm Erin. I'm a open source nerd, geek, comedian. I'm a full-time comedian right now, because of #tech layoffs. But yeah, now and I'm just trying to get back in the habit of streaming again. I did this a few years ago and then got bullied off the internet. So we're back. Please don't put nasty things in my chat because it's not nice. But
people aren't nasty on Twitch usually, so that's nice.
Yeah, the worst thing that's ever happened to me is I did get a death threat on LinkedIn out of all platforms once. And they posted a picture of my apartment and the front door.
An actual death threat? Wow.
And with a picture of my apartment in the front door and this is her address and cell phone number. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's
Anywho, not to be a downer, but yeah. Batty, do you want to take a second and introduce yourself if you'd be so
Yeah,
so kind?
And this time will be way smoother because it's the second time that I'm doing it. So, Maddie, aka Maddie Two Shoes. I also stream on Twitch. I am a data content creator. I have been in the data world for over 10 years. I am very passionate about education in data. So I host community events. I'm based out of Switzerland. I'm Swiss Canadian, since my accent is kind of neutral. I host community events here in Switzerland. I mentor various people, and I stream and create content to help people within the data space, and also learn myself, like most people who stream in the software and game dev space or tech space. They do it to learn as well. And today we are going to have lots of learning.
Yeah, and a heck of a personal background indeed. Indeed.
Thank you, Soy Milk.
I always love. So, Ramon, you missed this, but we had a bit of a chaos set. Ramon's seen me Twitch before, but it does bring me back to the first time that I ever was on Twitch. I did 15 minutes of a tutorial of not even updating my own audio.
It's okay.
We're doing.
I mean, anyone who was here hanging out before and stayed for us, that's super cool. So thank you.
Yeah, you're super cool and super great. But anywho, on the more fun, lighthearted things, so I was showing you the very cool world, which is Naked and Afraid. So I'm a trash TV watcher by I have what is called dirtbag days, which is when you are a giant dirtbag and you just consume trash, not good for you content. My personal favorite, I really encourage it because you can shut your brain off and you can just consume things that don't require brain power.
Isn't there another name for that? What is it? Goblin mode. Isn't that the other one?
Yeah, I think that's I think that's similar. Goblin mode is similar.
Okay.
Yeah, I have dirtbag days. Goblin mode's another thing. I have my favorite one is, again, I'm on a Naked and Afraid binge right now. So I've been playing around with it. I'm a big believer, like when it comes to like education, that like education shouldn't be boring as shit. Like so many times it's like I think we were talking on your last stream of like learning from books a little bit and like how it's like really hard to learn from books because they're dated. But it's also like I feel like you use the same 5 data sets or same 5 examples for everything. It's like here's how to use the IMDb data set, which is like great. And like no shade because I use that. No, I mean I use the tutorial too.
2 of my YouTube videos use IMDb data sets. So.
I mean, same. I say that I say that because it's like, but like, I think the fun part for learning is like actually being able to like do it with like really interesting things. I love, in this lesson we'll make a to-do list. That's very real. In this lesson.
Yeah. And let's face it, a lot of the tutorials online also use the same 5 data sets. Like, oh, this is Hacker News, or this is tennis wins, or Spotify's data set, or whatever. So it is nice to have variety in data sets too.
So super nice. I'm a big cuber, and so if you haven't seen the hit reality TV show with 20-something seasons, they are a lot of them.
I think I need to watch at least 1 episode of Naked and Not Afraid.
Yeah. So it's literally people. The whole premise of the show is you are naked and afraid in the wilderness. That's it. That's the whole show. And it's like,
okay.
But you have to use primitive tools to survive. Like they get, sometimes some seasons are like, this is an extra large challenge or an extra hard challenge. So they're like, you get nothing. And then in some seasons they're like, okay, friends, here's your fire starter and your pot and a whatever thing. And you can bring 1 item from home, which 90% of people bring a machete. And then there's times where like the contestants are like too good for the stuff. So they're like, even though I get these things, I'm not going to because that is scary and bad. And they want to like be tough. I would tap out like on day 1 because no.
Oh, I tap out before even joining. The whole naked part is just like, you feel so vulnerable when you're naked. Like I would happily go and do survival stuff if I could dress appropriately. But just the naked part, that's terrifying for me.
Yeah. I feel like I could be okay with the naked part as long as the weather was okay.
Yeah, maybe.
There was no bugs. And there was no bugs. That's the other thing is they're like, they leave and it's like they have a weigh-in at the beginning and it's like, they have this like stupid metric they come up with and it's like, their blah, blah, blah survival rating is blah, 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 blah. And so, yeah, it is pretty great. They have latest, but the subreddit for the Naked and Afraid people is like very active. So yeah, it is great. They also have a really active wiki here, which is super cool.
Nice.
And someone has built a data set that is live of all of the Naked and Afraid data. I think it's for me being the being on TV part. Yeah, you know? Yeah. Also saying like, I feel like no, I couldn't do that.
That's true. But here you are on Twitch in front of potentially thousands of people. So, you know, there's that.
We're rolling with it. We're living it. We're doing the dreams. We're getting there. We're getting one day at a time. I mean, they all had to watch me figure out how to not use my audio. So we've already made it through.
That wouldn't happen on TV. Fully clothed and unafraid. Yeah, exactly, Mike.
Yes. Mike, I like the way that you think. Fully clothed and unafraid. I like the way you think.
That's how I go into work.
I mean, I'm still kind of scared sometimes. I'm like, crap. But yeah, so one of the random things as I'm looking for my next job has been, if we're going to go to GitHub, I've been working on this. I want to build a nice, cool repo and I was hoping we could help out today of Naked and Not Afraid of open source. And it's just different open source tutorials you could do with the Naked and Afraid data set. So this is as far as I've gotten. I have the data set and was wondering if you want to play with it.
Where is the data? Show me your data.
Show you the data. So the data is currently in a very famous, I think you probably add it right from here, upload. I'm going to choose my files. I'm doing some really great best practices and then they're sitting on my desktop. in a folder titled Naked and Afraid Data. So it is this is literally a Naked and Afraid data set from the Excel spreadsheet. So that is the current state of the data. This is data that has basically been built by folks on the subreddit, the Naked and Afraid subreddit. So I will actually and they have made it available on Kaggle. So for those of you who want to find it on Kaggle, yeah, it is there.
Okay, it's an Excel file. All right.
Yeah, it's an Excel file. So we'll need to, first step one.
Convert.
We'll need to convert. So
my favorite go-to trick to converting an Excel file to CSV, if you don't have Excel, which I do not, is putting it in Google Drive, because Google Drive natively opens Excel files, and then you can download it as a CSV. Bonus, you can edit it in Google Drive too as an Excel file, so you can make like little tweaks and stuff, which is super cool.
Yeah, that's exactly thank you, Google Drive, for doing the hard work for us. So we can now see, and I've played around with an older version of this data set. So one of the things that I did is they have like locations, and one of the things that, again, this TV show is live. So one of the things that I had to go through is like cleaning up the junkie data or whatnot. But Louisiana is it's like a state, not a
city.
Country.
Or country.
Yeah, true country. Like, I think the best way is probably to do this by country. But then you have also things like South Africa. Like, and then it's like, there's South Africa, Philippines, Montana, Peru, Mississippi.
Yeah,
like
Montana
there's no
and
standard.
Peru.
Yeah, Montana and Peru.
Yeah.
And so it's like sorted by, the thing that's kind of nice about this data is it's like you get some cool things of like their full name, how many days they made it out there. So this guy has been there 215 days. Like, wow, good for you. What episodes they were featured in. So it has like, this one does have like some other, like, and their teammates, if they had teammates. I really like this data, which someone made a TAP dashboard, which is like, only 63% of people do this. And I can zoom in on this because, yeah, only 63% of people actually survive this challenge.
Interesting.
And then most of the time, there's about a third of the time, there's a third based on this that you'll just get medicaled out. They'll be like, JK.
But like, the medical out is like, is that voluntary? Or
that means like there's like a medical team that they have because insurance companies, and like the medical team is like, you might have a heart attack. So like if you're so dehydrated, your heart rate goes up and it puts you at risk of a heart attack. So they're like, we can't get sued. In one season they were like, this is originally a 21-day challenge, but someone just got eaten by a bear with less than a half mile from here, so like leave. So, yeah.
Mike asked what the partner replacement column, what does that mean?
Yeah, so partner replacement is like, is this one? I think what it is, completion. Column on first sheet. Participant arrangement standard. Oh, partner replacement. So if you had to swap in a partner, like if one of your partners got tapped out and they swapped in, or they did a season that was not very popular called Naked and Afraid in Love. So instead of taking Survivalist, they made it like a dating show. And then they were like, you would swap partners, but like these people weren't survivalists. So like the original core people of the show were like, I'm a survivalist. I'm going to do this by scratch. The Naked and Afraid in Love is like, they already had a shelter built. Here's a guide of like how to survive in wilderness. Here's an actual fire starter. we understand that you're here for the reality TV show. And they even had like a different narrator of the show or like announcer. They're like, normally it's like, in the wild, blah, 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 blah. In Love One, it was like, and on this day, in Naked and Afraid, in love.
You know, there's only 3 types of trailer voices, right? There's menacing, upbeat, and comedic. So you already did 2 of them, and there's a third one, which is the funny one. But basically all film trailers are either like, deep in the night, there were 2 guys. Like, that's the dramatic one. And then there's like the lovey-dovey one. Oh yeah, in a world, that's the one.
In a world.
Like, there's like the lovey-dovey one where it's like, these 2 couples found each other on a random boat. And, you know, like, that's the funny. And then there's the comedic one where it's like, it's like all over the place. You can't really follow sort of up and down. I can't do that one. Yeah.
In a world where your best life could be I'm naked and afraid. These 2 brothers are constantly getting in trouble with eating snakes. Or I think the one thing that they like learned is like I wish that this data set had how many people projectile vomited because they ate snakes.
Oh, gross.
Like, if this is a poisonous snake, we're going to eat it. I'm like, why?
But that's like anti-survivalist. Why would you do that if you know it's a poisonous snake?
Because when you have nothing, that's what you got.
Yeah. So I have questions about the data set. I've also imported it to Drive at the same time.
Perfect. Right.
So from my understanding, the raw data is actually basically just survivalist and episodes, because everything else can be extrapolated from that. Because location is just counts of how many times they've been in each location, and tap is just a summary of the data. So what I don't understand is the columns in survivalist in the first tab with success fail sequence and days lasted sequence, because it means that Matt Wright has been in 7 episodes. But how do you know which episodes he's been in? Because there isn't an episode ID of some kind.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I think they have this page of the episode dashboard. Let's see. Oh, and it has this, but it's not, so I can really...
Okay, so you have the participants there. Okay, so we would need to map the participants from there into like each episode. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And it looks like there's also, this is not a great, again, this is, I mean, I say great because someone manually made this, so thank you, person on the internet, for making this, but there's a lot of Matts, and sometimes these just say Matt.
Oh, they don't have the last name?
It says Matt Alexander and then Matt.
Well, there's Matt Wright. Let's check that.
So.
Oh, yeah. So Matt Wright isn't on the participants list at all, apparently.
So Matt might be Matt Wright. We can double check this by going to the Naked and Afraid wiki.
Yeah, Max as well. Angela, Chad. So how many Angelas are there? So we're gonna have to do some fuzzy matching. We might need to do some fuzzy matching. But this would be like a good. So if we cross-reference stuff, it would be cool to like think about our. If we're gonna set up a database for this, which honestly I think we should. I think we should put this in a relational database because it is very classical relational data. We're obviously going to explode this into like a different architecture. We should probably draw it out about what it should look like.
To the Miro board.
Miro, Excalidraw, whatever your flavor. I actually like Excalidraw because you can also do it without a login. I don't know if you know that one.
I did not. I have not. I mean, I have not used it personally.
It's like the meta drawing thing at the moment.
I'm gonna start. Cool. Here you go.
Oh, we can live draw.
We can live draw. There you go.
Did you show the URL on stream? Everyone else can live draw too.
Yeah, if they want to join. I didn't copy the full URL, so there you go. Sneaky, sneaky.
There we
I'm
go.
going to invite. I have a Ramon in the chat, so if he wants to join on a live draw, I just sent him the link. And if you find me on Discord, you know, I'm very unique and put the same username in absolutely everything, so feel free to draw with us.
I tried to as well. Someone stole my username on Twitch.
Oh, my different ones are GitHub and TikTok, and for dumb reasons. My first GitHub was my undergrad university account, and I didn't know what I was doing because that's before I was like, I'm never going to learn to code. I'm just going to do this one Python class and it'll be fine. LOL, Aaron, that was stupid.
Actually, my GitHub is also different. My GitHub is my name rather than my handle. I guess it's an employer thing, right? Because like employers rather, if you bring your GitHub account to an employer, they like to see a real name rather than a handle. I don't know.
Yeah. At
least serious ones in here in Europe, you know. Everything is so serious.
So serious. Business only. Only biz.
Yeah. Only biz. No whiz. No riz. Yeah. Yeah, well, if we want to start with thinking about data design, database design, I always ask myself one question. Do you know what that question is when I design a database?
What is that question?
What is the purpose?
I like this. I'm gonna make a cool title. Design.
And it's like a throwback to maybe if you know Rick and Morty, which is not a reality TV show at all.
It's still a great show.
Great show. And there's this very amazing scene where, you know, one of the characters builds a robot, and then the robot asks, "What is my purpose?" And he says, "You pass butter." And so I always like to ask, what is the purpose of this database? Obviously, it's to store data, because that's every database's purpose. But what is the actual purpose of this particular database? Is to give us, I think, a basis for understanding the relationships between, I guess, contestants. What do you want to call them? Contestants and episodes of the show, Naked and Afraid. And so that means obviously understanding terminology. So what do we call the people who participate? We call them contestants. We call each individual airing of the thing is called an episode. And we can call, I guess they have seasons, right? You mentioned that they have seasons. So episodes are collected into seasons. And then we can figure out along the way what kind of particularities about this database make it special. Yeah. So database design is like, I mean, you know this, there are different levels of relationships, right? Sometimes there's a one-to-one relationship, sometimes there's a one-to-n relationship, and sometimes there's a many-to-many relationship. And we have in this particular example, we have actually a many-to-many situation in most of these things, because we have people who take part in multiple episodes, which is one-to-many in a way. But each episode features multiple people, which we haven't separated out yet. So we have to also do some matching on that level.
Yeah, I think
so definitely
jump in the categories. My brain's starting to make categories. So you've got contestants. Oh,
I think you can auto. Can you not? Yeah, if you double click in them, you can put text.
I'm going through the season is the data, and then under season you'd have like episode number.
Yeah, you would have an episode.
It's kind of like under season. We also have in this thing like the results. So, and results can be either success or fail. So like they're like, oh, hey, you should succeed or fail. And by succeeding, they mean you made your life miserable in the wilderness.
Yeah. And then there's, so So what do the columns on the first tab, these survivalist dashboard, there's lowest PSR and highest PSR. What does PSR stand for?
So PSR in Naked and Afraid it's Naked and Afraid data science in Naked and Afraid. And one of the things that actually drives me nuts about this, and you'll probably hopefully relate because a data person as well, is it's a perceived survival rating. So they make based on the number of it's like perceived or predicted survival rating. Can't remember exactly the terms they use because they also have like, depending on the season, it's like frozen survival rating and blah, blah, blah. But it's what does the show predict that they are likely of surviving?
So what level is the PSR at? Do they report it per episode?
It's per episode, and it's like based on different things per episode. So it's not consistent data. So data science of Naked and Afraid, people, kind of annoying actually. They do have a online, you can go online. I'm actually going to Google this. See if I can pop it up to use it on my other browser. But they calculate it on different things. So it's like, oh, how many times have you survived in temperatures below 50 degrees if it's a frozen challenge? Or how many times have you designed on temperatures that are above 50 degrees? Or are you someone who likely could go it alone because they have Naked and Afraid alone? That's kind of the things that I don't like because it's not consistent. Like, oh, they call it it's primitive survival rating. So excuse me on that.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll just call it primitive then.
Yeah, survival rating.
Well, you were saying you were knocking on their data science, so it makes sense that they call it primitive.
Yeah. I'm like, and it is based on their official, according to the discovery.com website, it is experience, skill, and mental approach. This is customized previous seasons, as well as how they might perform and the challenges they might face in this existing season. So inconsistent data science is the official answer. But it is out of 10. That's what they gave it out of.
All right.
Results, I also think, is it based on actual metrics or just TV magic? I would say TV magic all the way. This is a TV magic thing. So according to TV magic, it is experience, skill, and mental approach is the 3 categories. So I'm sorry, Mike. Everybody write in to Naked and Afraid and be like, let me do your data stuff because...
Can you imagine being a data scientist for an actual TV show? That sounds wild.
I freaking love it. Honestly, that would be so much fun.
That'd be wild. I've always thought of what it would be like to be for games, like big games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, where they have like so much data moving at such a fast rate. They need to make so many adjustments all the time, like weapon balancing and all this kind of stuff. Must be very complicated as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I added a couple things. I added arrangements in the contestants because I saw like the thing you mentioned with the love variation, which is 2 + 2, so couples, which means we could technically map the couples in, because contestants, obviously we're going to want to going too far for now, but we're going to want to have single people in the contestants table, right? Also weight loss is a thing. I don't know how we're going to do that. For me, it belongs to the contestant, but it might be something that's tracked somewhere else. I also see the air date of the episode. We will probably want to have that in there too. What else have we got in here? I think that's pretty much it.
I think that's it. Yeah. Well, I guess so. The one question I go back and forth of, like, if the arrangements, right? Because like you have flavor. I don't want to say like flavor, but we're gonna call it a flavor. But like it's a flavor. Like in the flavor text or whatever, you could put like it has like, you know, typically an Excel challenge is 90 days. So it's like they have to stick outside for 90 days. Whereas A solo challenge, I think you only have to survive 21 days. Something like that. Or if it's like extreme, you have 14 days.
So we could add flavor to the season information.
Yeah, I think that's a seasonal.
It must be seasonal, right? Like each episode, it follows the same. Yeah. What's the completion percentage?
That is the out of the number of times they've done it, how many have they completed? Like how much of the total, like if they were signed up to do across 5 episodes, you know, originally X number of days.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting, is to think about table design. So do you want to have what we call computed metrics in the same table where raw data lives? So you have to imagine if we just look at contestants, for example. If we have a contestants table, and in that table, we put, for example, the information about the contestant. So we'll put like first name. We'll put last name. Now these things are static, right? What we call slow changing or non-changing dimensions. It's definitely possible. Thanks for joining, Hola. Super cool to have you here.
Later.
So we'll have like slow changing dimensions or non-changing dimensions in there. But if you add something like weight loss in here, this is a computed calculation, right? So this is going to be something that changes over time. So that's, you can do it this way. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. It's just a question of how you want to design your data, and it comes with various, let's say, advantages and disadvantages. The opposite structure to this is like,
I'm gonna bump it up here. Burp.
Oh, sorry. The opposite structure to this is to say, I have first name, last name in here, and then I have another table. I'm just going to make a line between these. So the other option is to do something like this, where you do like contestants metrics or something, and then you have weight loss, but then you add a ID in here, contestant ID. And then you would have weight loss, but you would have like weight loss, and then you would have like a time period, right? So you would have maybe an episode link as well. You might have an episode ID in here. And that basically starts branching out, right? That starts branching out. So if you know you have an episode ID, you're going to need to have another table with episodes.
I lean slightly towards this, as I'm like cutting off the screen for everybody. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah. It's fine.
But I lean towards the latter right here. And my reason for this is because this seems to be more scalable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is the main difference.
The show's still going on. Like the show's, and if you do it the first way, you have to go back and like recalculate metrics. Whereas like if you do it this like longevity wise.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that actually what the big difference here is, you could actually summarize these two things. You could call this one update, and you could call this one inserts. Like basically that's kind of what it comes down to from a SQL perspective, is in this initial version here, where you have where you have metrics computed in the same table as slow or non-changing dimensional data, you will need to update this table. You can of course do it with inserts, as well, you could kind of mix the approach where you have like an inserted at and an updated at field, and then you could use that as like a raw and then have another table that computes from that one to have the most current view. But that gets a bit messy in my opinion. And basically inserts here, you're just going to be inserting into every single row. Where you're going to, like these ones here, like this contestants, these are typically called fact tables because they basically don't really change much. They're, yeah, like I said, slow moving or non-moving dimensions. Even like episodes, basically every time there's a new episode, you just plop it in there, finished, right? So yeah, I think it's nice to have like this sort of structure. So I agree with you that this kind of broken out structure is pretty good. And if you make these links between various people or various entities, I guess you'd call them, with IDs, right? Yeah. It's actually correct. The correct way to do this would be you would have
the ID across.
Yeah, so you'd have an ID here. This is the contestant ID. You have a contestant ID, an episode ID, so you can see the links like this if we color them. We can make this one red.
First off, you're getting me addicted to this Escaladraw. Like I've been a Miro
It's great,
person.
right? It's
yeah,
great,
I'm like,
what?
It? And it like saves locally. I just got the little pop-up and it's like, this will save locally afterwards. Like it's not going to go away forever.
Mm-hmm. It is very nice.
This is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I think this could be cool.
This makes sense.
Kind of structure.
Yeah. I think the other question is that I keep thinking of and my brain's wrapping around because like ideally like I have a smaller version of this data set that I've been playing with for machine learning stuff. But one of the issues I kept running into was the location inconsistency. So like if I wanted to start predicting like what is the hardest location based on data, it's like South Africa is not the same as Louisiana. Like,
yep.
And we have to decide like that's a decision that I'm thinking about. And I'm probably jumping ahead to the cleaning up of the data stage a little bit, which is
we need to clean it to get it in here. Like we need to clean it to get it in here. So it makes sense to think about cleaning when doing the design for sure. Like I don't see any downside to that.
So
what are you thinking for location? Do you think the common denominator is just country? Because most of them, apart from the US, seem to be country based.
I think that I'm like quickly scrolling through the data set. Like it doesn't seem to have any other like I'm thinking country sounds to be like a pretty decent one because like that's where we're going, you know?
Yep. I think that makes sense.
So we'll have to kind of do some I think honestly the only ones that need to be cleaned up are the states.
Yeah, but that's relatively easy to do. This is a simple lookup thing. You basically create a table temporarily that has both the location in it as well as the desired outcome. Like the ID that we're going to use will probably go with like 2-letter country code or something like that. So, and then this is something that would be great for ChatGPT actually.
Oh, I guess I've never thought about things I'm thinking discovered.
I'll show you so this like how I'm thinking is like the first thing you want to do is
I can give you the screen if you want to share your screen. If you want to drive.
No, we'll do it on yours.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. I would say what we need first is a kind of distinct list of all the locations.
So we can clean that up. Oh my goodness, all the logins today.
So we can definitely clean that up pretty easily. There's a few different ways to do that. I would do it in Google Sheets because Google has a function for it.
Pretty clean up to it. I think I can. You have edit access if you want to go ahead and run on that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna pull up my. I'm doing a login. So, doing the off-screen 2-factor.
That's good. Do it off screen.
Good data practices.
Don't let people see your screen. Don't hack. Don't hack Aaron, people.
If you do hack me, like you could make me a millionaire or something cool. Give me an Emmy.
So we're gonna duplicate the survivalist dashboard. I'm gonna make something called locations. And then I'm gonna just delete out all of the things except the locations column. Can you switch over one tab to the locations tab? Yeah. So basically now you have a column that has all the locations in it. Then you're going to want to CSV split this. So we're going to go format, data. I think it's data. Split text to columns. Yeah. So you have all of these
that's
different...
interesting. I'm always amazed of how people do different things differently. Like, it's my favorite part of like watching streamers, because I would have done like just separated out by column, like, because there's like a line you can write for that, or separate it, like remove commas and space, add space by column.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so this, and now what we would do is we would take this, basically this entire thing, because it's not that many rows, so it's pretty manageable. Take this entire thing, copy it, and basically slap that into paste special transposed. Although we could already actually take, this is probably still small enough text to just put directly into ChatGPT actually. Oh yeah, so you could just give it this entire block. Yeah, you could just take this entire block and just feed it in. You could probably even do it with the raw list too. I'm gonna
try it.
It might be able to handle the raw one with CSV.
My ChatGPT is. Look at my.
Is it not cooperating?
It's like, are they down?
Really?
Yeah,
it's possible in theory.
What?
That seems weird. No, mine loaded okay.
It's like I am just like, don't let me touch your computer today, everybody. Clearly, I'm like, wait, I went to chat. I refresh page. I'm not allowed to touch computers, guys. I'm actually gonna go. Plot twist. I am actually doing this so I can be on the next season of Naked and Afraid. Kidding. I wouldn't make it.
Naked and Afraid. What are you bringing with? A computer, because I will use it as a weapon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start. Like, instead of like a chair, a folding chair, it's just I have a laptop.
Create a list of distinct locations from this text dump. I'm just gonna see if it works.
Yeah.
Here is the text dump. Oh yeah, it works.
Dope. If you have a functioning ChatGPT account or chat account, whatever, OpenAI account, and your OpenAI is working, do that. Make it.
It says there's 48 locations.
That sounds about right.
It's interesting because the location dashboard says 36.
There's some duplicates.
There's USA. They've already rolled up. You see line 2 is USA. So they've already rolled up the US specific ones.
Oh, well, step one, fine. Make sure to evaluate all your data instead of just trusting that someone didn't.
So what I would do now, can I share this? I wonder if I can share it. Present.
It usually adds it back in and all. Should be able to present. Ta-da.
It's a bit wide. Yeah, so if you prompt it like this, so here's the list of distinct locations provided from the text dump. So it gives you 48 locations. Some appear more than once with different capitalizations or variations. I've attempted to consolidate them into a single entry, which is good. But you can see there's duplicates. Like Colorado appears multiple times. So actually, I don't want any duplicates. You have to be straight with ChatGPT. Like, don't want this.
That's probably why we get along well, because
there we go.
We're straight shooters.
43.
You kind of get what you get. for better or for worse.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Absolutely. Okay, so we have 43 locations. Now what you can do is you can ask it to say, from this list, create a 2-column table. The first column is the original data. The second column is the location of the country that the first data point is located in. For the United States, use USA. Now, if it works properly, it will map the states to USA automatically. And this is a lookup table for us.
Ta-da! Bing, bing, bing.
Yep. And now you can just put this
I'm doing my own
into...
sound effects since OBS isn't working. That means that you get my own instead of my stream. I have a glitter one, which is like my favorite. If you're ever on a Zoom call with me, it's like I have one, it's like the...
Okay, so we do original location and then updated location. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing that anymore. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, here, I can swap back.
Yeah, we can swap to yours as well anyway.
Either way. Ba-ba-ba.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else
So now
likes
you
my
have...
broken screen. Sorry, world.
So we have, yeah, now you have in the locations tab, you have an original location and an updated location. And the updated location is basically the country mapping. So if you were to take now these, now we can validate this. If we were to take that and put it into a separate thing and then ask it to remove duplicates, 35 unique rows remain.
That checks out.
Which in the location dashboard there are
36.
36. So there's one in there that they have that we don't have, possibly.
Oops. So I'm going to take this. What I would do is I would take this,
Mm-hmm.
copy it, go right next to it, and then I would just honestly, A to Z.
Oh, yeah. Just watch the sorting, because it's taking the sorting from the rows.
Oh, I see.
Because of the header row.
I just did that.
I think it's sort range or
Or
something.
just freeze the top row.
Or just, yeah, that also works.
Oh,
Oh, it's not.
it's not sticking. Here, wait, I'm just going to cut.
Cut.
Good.
That's so weird that...
Wait, what?
Why is it not...
Yeah, what?
I think it's sort range, because it's a keyboard. Are you using the keyboard shortcut?
Yeah.
Try with the menu, just to amuse me.
Data.
And then,
range.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then you would put a formula in between, right?
Either way,
So
I was looking for where they don't line up, because this is Georgia. Because Georgia is a country and a state.
Oh, but they mean the state, probably. Or do
Likely,
they?
I'm going to double check. I think this is where you would just consult Google. Where was Naked and Afraid
I'm doing ChatGPT to see if we get the same answer.
take place
Has the show
in
Naked and Afraid
in
ever
Georgia?
had an episode in the country Georgia?
In Trenton, Georgia. So,
ChatGPT says yes.
in the country, this is Dade County, Georgia. Oh, I guess I just asked a different question. I asked a different question. So it was, your prompt was, has Naked and Afraid ever appeared in the country of, if you all caps it, Google knows. I don't think so.
It's not mentioned. Oh, September 2021 cutoff date. Yeah, maybe that's why.
Wikipedia.
What's the most likely outcome? Hi, Exegete.
Oh, it says Georgia right here. Oh, that's a state. Duh.
Is that the state flag of Georgia?
That would appear to be the state flag of Georgia. I actually don't know the state flag of Georgia.
I didn't even know state flags were a thing.
Yeah, well,
So
they
there
are.
you go.
Fun fact.
Okay. Okay, so we know that Georgia should map to USA.
USA.
Where is Georgia in the original list? There.
Boom.
We'll just fix it. Fixed.
I'm gonna.
But wait, we have
one more, but I'm gonna disappear off cam. Mostly, I will be right back because my dog is crying and wants to make an
Oh
appearance.
no. Okay.
I mean, he's just upset. He likes to come on Zoom calls because he thinks that they're talking to him. So he hears me talking at the computer and is like, "Mom, Q, do you want to come say hi?" There is a dog off camera now because he wants to say hi.
Okay, well, I'm confused. If we remove Georgia, we don't have Honduras in our data set. That's weird.
That is weird.
Why don't we have Honduras?
Is Honduras isn't a territory of the U.S. It's a country.
Is it?
Yes, it's not.
Country in Central America.
Yeah.
Republic of Honduras. Yep. Okay. So
They're on
I'm
the-
thinking that ChatGPT thought Honduras was USA. But
I'm
what's
thinking- I
interesting
don't-
is there's no Honduras in the original list that we created.
So I actually almost am tempted to scrape this list and just steal this list.
Wait. Okay, so there are 4 episodes that aired in Honduras. If in the episodes list. So okay, well we'll just add it. That's that simple. Honduras, which is Honduras. So if we add Honduras to our list, just shove this one down. So where is the next misalignment? Oh yeah, Maldives. Maldives is the other one.
Isn't the
Yeah.
Bahamas?
Wait. Maldives? No, Maldives is its own, isn't it? South Asia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's its own.
I'm really bad of not knowing. It's the
Not
Republic.
doing the Americans justice with the geography knowledge, Aaron.
No.
Oh,
I
wait,
learned
no,
something
sorry.
like it's
I
a.
looked wrong.
Actually,
It's
no.
Malaysia.
Yeah, it's Malaysia.
It's Malaysia.
South. It's an archipelagic state and country in South Asia, situated in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. Okay, so Malaysia is the one that we were missing, which is good. So then we have like this. So we just add Malaysia to our list. And then it looks correct, right?
Yeah, these should all be turned. All these are countries. Can we just ask ChatGPT to confirm all these are countries? That's a terrible thing to maybe.
I think it is though. I think it's okay. We can ask it though still if you want.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Are
sure.
all these things a country?
It's like, Aaron, Georgia. Yes, it is. Not relevant for you. I had ChatGPT working, and now it's like, just kidding, Aaron. Just again, don't let me touch your computer today. Don't let me touch anything with tech today. Oh wow. Would help if you copy and paste it in.
Dominica should be Dominican Republic, or maybe it was cut off.
Let's check.
Dominica. yes.
Yeah.
Although ChatGPT says it's a location.
What does the Wikipedia page of this say?
Dominica is actually a separate country.
Oh,
It's a country in the
take that!
Caribbean.
Guess what? Guess what? It's not just the Americans bad anymore. Point one for
Yeah,
Aaron.
Mike. Yeah, Mike. How come you didn't know that? It's a country in the it's a country in the Caribbean of 72,000 people. How could you not know that?
How did you neglect 72,000 people?
Horrible.
Horrible.
Absolutely horrible. Okay, well, we're ready then.
We're ready.
We have our location data cleaned up. So let's start thinking about where to put this database then.
Yeah.
Would you like to try out DuckDB?
Let's try it out. I have not used DuckDB, so we can give it a spin.
I have a invite link for you.
Ooh.
So this is Mother Duck is the cloud-hosted serverless version of DuckDB in beta.
No one saw that. Wow.
Exegete, come on.
There's a whole world of knowledge. That's great. That's great. Amaze.
Classic dad jokes from Chad here.
Whole world of knowledge. I'm supposed to be the funny one. Damn it.
All right. So, yeah, just fill out your stuff.
If you guys want to stalk me, I guess don't. We'll have some witty banter while I create some things. Witty banter time.
Witty. Exegete, how's your day going so far? Everyone else in chat, how's your day so far?
Licensed dad, I really appreciate that. I do say I tell my husband, you're a dad without the credentials. We joke that like that's our thing. It's like you're a dad without the credentials.
I'm technically a dad to 2 bunnies, so I don't know if that qualifies me to make dad jokes. It's like a technicality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Q dog dad, but I don't know where the Q man went. He wanted to say hi and then realized, oh, you're doing like actual weird stuff. Please stop. Dope. So I am in the Mother Duck. Awesome.
I put on these funny glasses so we get a good thumbnail for Twitch. Also, because I don't need to see what you're doing. We should decide where and how we're going to create our table structure in the database. Because I don't know, does it work through the interface? I actually don't know. I need to see.
Making our screen a little bigger. So
can we actually do it through here? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out.
I think it's all via SQL commands.
Oh man, you're really gonna test me on doing this without cheating.
Well, here's the thing: we don't have to write it from scratch. Okay, we can ask ChatGPT to generate the DDL for us.
Smart.
Yeah, because that's something that I don't want to do by hand anyway.
Yeah, I always like just steal someone else's on the internet. Like I just like go, I'm like, please tell me how to set this up. Okay, thanks, bye.
So we already know we want to have a contestants table. So let's just, or we were just doing location stuff. Let's start with the locations one. It's a little bit funnier because it enables us to think about where locations are going to be. Because locations are for episodes. So we know that the location is going to need a reference to episode. So we have, in addition to the location data, we also have the episode ID in there that we know. Basically, yeah, ask ChatGPT to create a DDL statement to create a table. Together, we're going to create a database. So I'm gonna set up
I
a
always tell it we're
database.
doing it together because then it makes me feel like I give it some more credit.
You can also act it. You can tell it to act like an expert data architect. Maybe.
Ooh, you are an expert data architect, and I am your student. That sounds like a terrible role playing. Please create a DDL statement to create a table.
We want to have. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, it is like.
We need to tell it more things though. Like
Yeah,
we need
I
to
did
tell
not.
it.
I went full rogue. No, just kidding.
You don't need to repeat anymore. You can. You don't need to repeat. It will remember the context from before.
Oh yeah. In this table.
So what columns do we want? We want to have an ID for the location. Yeah, we can just list them. It's easier. ID for the location. We want a title, name. What do we want to call it? Location name. Name probably sounds better, right?
Location, or just can we just leave it as location?
Well, the thing is, if the table's named location, then you have location dot location. So you want it to read natural, like when you query it in whatever you use. So I want the location dot name, for example, or location dot city, or location. Technically, it would be country. Yeah, technically it's country. Yeah. We want. What else is in there?
I have to go back to our Scala
Those are all the computed metrics for that table. So actually there isn't anything else apart from the episode ID, basically. Just the episode ID.
So ID and country.
We need episode ID as well.
Oh.
Unless we make a separate table that is literally location ID and contestant ID. But I think that's silly to do because it's just huge overhead for that. Like, yeah.
Feels ridiculous. We have the following columns: ID, country, episode.
Episode ID. You're gonna have probably have to rename it.
Ugh.
You can also tell it to not be verbose if you want.
Yeah. This is probably what I get for telling it to my teacher and I'm the student. Can be. Perfect. This statement creates a table, locations, blah, 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 country, episode ID, all that good stuff.
Okay, so what format did it choose? I can't quite see the code, so we'll have to... Well, we'll just copy it and paste it into... yeah, okay. So episode ID is an int. That's fine. Country is a varchar not null. Yeah, and episode ID has to be not null as well. They're actually all not nullable, but we maybe don't care too much about that.
Dumb question. What is that exactly? I've like seen it before and I've kind of just like ignored it.
So there's two like main or three main things when you create a table. There's the data type of the column. So that's like integer or a character or a Boolean, right? That dictates what type of data can be stored in the column. Then you have constraints, and the really big constraint is primary key or foreign key. Primary key basically dictates this is the denominator for the table. It means it's unique. And not null, which basically means that you cannot save a row to that table when that column is empty. So null means empty. And it's basically a constraint that prevents writing data to the table that's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DIL.
So IDs are very commonly integers. IDs can also be in a UUID format, which is an alphanumeric format. There's actually an official UUID standard. It's currently v4 now. It basically ensures randomization. That you don't get duplicates. So you can create UUID and have it be by default, it will not be duplicated. Yeah. So let's try and see if it will. We might want to rename the DB or something, but for now we can just go with my DB. That's okay. We have a schema. So the schema is currently called main. Actually, we need to rename the schema. So we should rename the schema. I don't think you can do it in the UI.
Let's see. So what do I do now?
So we could ask ChatGPT to how to rename a table schema. How do I rename a schema? There you go.
Perfect. So step 1, rename schema.
So it's not, yeah, it's not 100% correct. You'll see in a second. So rename the schema of a table. You don't need to specify the table name, from my understanding. So alter. Oh wait.
Yeah, it'd be.
Aha. Wait, is that?
It's like no, that's.
There's nothing in there though, is there?
Yeah, I don't think there is.
I actually don't know. Wait a second. How have they structured this? Maybe that's the table. Maybe there are no schemas. Let's try and create a table.
Yeah, let's just see.
Let's just try and create the table then. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, interesting.
Using new tools. It's part of. We're on brand for today. We go to a break.
It's another new one. Another new one is great.
Great. And I'm actually just gonna add a comment because otherwise I'll look at this and be like, "What were you doing?"
So create table. So here, haha, it's already put it in there. Perfect. I was gonna say to you, we should check that you're happy with the namings.
Oh yeah, we're good. I created a table, locations, ID, country, episode idea.
So it's chosen camel case for the namings. Personally, with the table namings, I'm more of a lower like snake case type person. Exegete knows that too. I'm more of like a snake case type person, but this is totally fine as well. Like you can use either. Yeah. So we have a table now. Now we're going to insert data to that table. And this is where things get a bit finicky, right? Because we have a locations table already in our thing. The location dashboard. No, hold on. Episode dashboard. Where was it? Or do we just
location dashboard?
Yeah, but basically it's just a country there. We actually want to have both, right? We have the country. I realize what we forgot. We need to have a mapping because we need the original and the
new
because the episodes are only mapped to cities.
So we need to
in some cases. So what we actually need to do is alter the table.
We have that. Delete that tab.
Yeah. So if you tell it now, from the location table, we're gonna want to ask it how to alter the table to add. What should we call the column?
To be old.
Original location.
Original title. Yeah.
Yeah, something like original. What do they call? Oh, episode location. You can call it episode location. So instead of set schema, it's going to be add column, I believe. I have to look up. I don't even remember. Otherwise, you can ask ChatGPT.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT because otherwise it's going to be me googling it too. I'm like, add a column.
Snake case for days. Yeah, it's add column name data type. Exactly. So it's just so it's alter table. So it's add and then column name directly. So you don't need to say what column it is. So we're going to say we want it to be, what was it? Episode location. Oh, yeah, you don't need the column name thing. You just can, you can write directly episode underscore location. Or because we're in camel case, it would be episode look. No, no underscore then for consistency.
We have to,
And now we need a data type.
which would be, this would be a, not, yeah.
This will be varchar 255. And some people do say varchar, and I hate that because it's character. It's short for variable character or something. No comma, I think.
No, there's not. It's not multiple. We're just doing one.
And then it's alter table. We're gonna have to specify the table there. So it's not old schema. It's
gonna be
main. I don't. Where is it? MyDB. Main dot location. Yeah.
Try locations.
Try like that. Where's the syntax error coming from?
At or your alter line 1. Line 1 is this.
Okay, how about no schema in front? Try just locations. What's the rest of that error saying? That's what's weird. I can't read the rest of it.
It just says line 1 alter table locations. Spacing, you got it? That shouldn't be a weird one. I'm just going to delete line 1. It says line 1. Just delete line 1. You don't need my notes. Also, the keyboard shortcuts for running a alter table. Okay, locations, because that should be the same. Add episode.
I don't know.
Thanks, yeah.
Ask ChatGPT to correct it. Is this not correct or something? It kind of knows what you're trying to do, so.
Yeah. Oh, I just don't need the parentheses are used, like, it just doesn't want the parent. Okay, I thought it was, it's a redundancy, but okay.
Ah, okay. I think you only need it for create table then.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm a Rubyist. The snake case is my natural habitat too. That makes sense. Ruby
it would make more sense if your natural language was Python. Then I would have understood snake case.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Ready? It took me forever, and it's still like I catch myself because I'm a natural typing, and for text and for journalism and for content creation, camel case is my default because it's accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then I write Python, so it's like
snake case all the way.
And I have caught myself screwing things up that way.
Well, we now have a ID country, episode ID, episode location as our locations column, which is great. So it's like, that's exactly what we want. Now we have to insert the data to it. So you're gonna have to tell ChatGPT. Okay, so there's two ways to do this.
Yeah.
We could format the data correctly as a CSV, like the final thing that we want, and then submit it to ChatGPT and say, put this into a SQL statement for insert data. Or we can connect to the MotherDB, DuckDB instance with an IDE and use that to upload the data. So there's both ways of doing that.
Yeah, I haven't used the mother duck MyDB before, so my default would be for the ease of simplicity, just doing it in ChatGPT, being like cleaning it up. But I'm also open.
Well, do you already have an IDE installed?
I actually don't know on this computer. That's like, wow, bad. I might have like a container that's got one in it, but this is my fun experiment.
then I would suggest maybe just using ChatGPT for today.
Yeah, for today. This is a part of the stream of you're catching Erin getting all her ish together. Yesterday I realized
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I also realized like I was really running off a really old version of Python yesterday too, and I was like, why isn't something? Okay.
Okay, so let's format this particular sheet as we want it to be for that table. So we can basically delete all the columns except A and B, I guess.
Yeah.
And we'll wanna do it in the order that it is in the database. So we've basically ID, country, episode ID, episode location.
I'm gonna cheat. This is how I always. Welcome to Erin's cheater brain.
Okay, that works.
Episode ID and episode location. And this is you want to do country is the updated location.
Correct. So country is going to be updated location. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So episode ID we can't populate yet. We'll have to come back to that. And then the episode location is the episode ID. Yeah, episode ID, episode location, exactly. So here's the thing now. We can explode. So when I say explode, I mean that multi-layer relationship, right? So if we don't include episode ID here, what will happen is we can straight up just have a mapping table of basically episode location to country. And then we would have another table which has episode ID, references this location ID table, and then the episode table with it. So there's a few different ways to kind of spin that. I personally think we can try and map the episode ID into this table. However, the episode ID is probably going to be a array.
Yes.
So that we can retain the data structure of having one location per line. We can basically map each episode to this. Now, the question is, are we going to be able to do this in Google Sheets?
Yeah, this is like, I'm like, ooh, that's like, I'm like sitting here, I'm like, this is a...
Basically VLOOKUP across multiple columns at this point, right? Because you have an original location and we can map to the original location. So we just have to basically know which episode had which original location from the episode dashboard. So here in the episode dashboard, there's this locations thing. And basically you would just VLOOKUP the episode ID to the original location in the locations table. We can try one, basically. Yeah. So there's index match and VLOOKUP, and I'm just more familiar with VLOOKUP.
And it's usually I want this column. Move your pop.
Oh, that annoys me to no end with Google.
I'm like, why? It's not that one. This.
It's gonna need the original one. The episode location column. Yeah, because it won't match otherwise.
And of course, I changed my friggin' order on this.
It's just V, exactly. So yeah, that one, and then
it's the index, which is usually
so then location dashboard, and then you can highlight the whole thing from A to E. Doesn't really matter. Although No, sorry, episode dashboard. My bad.
You're all good. It's like the talking and doing.
But the thing is, we need the episode ID here. So you have to go
to the...
Oh, yeah, you know what? I realized that...
We might have to clean this up a little.
VLOOKUP is on the... So VLOOKUP goes from left to right. This is the issue. So actually what we can do is we could move this column. Let me just try and do that while you're in the thing. In the location... Sorry, in the episode dashboard, I'm just going to take column I, and I'm going to move that to the far left. So it will retain, it's going to retain the same
it's still going to pull from the I to I, though.
Yeah, so you have to pull from A to... what we should do is actually create an identifier for the episode in here. I'm just thinking. In the episode dashboard, we could just enumerate,
I'm gonna
like to basically to the left of here. We could just create. Would it make sense to join the season and the number together for an ID? Or should we just enumerate, like basically 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Yeah, I think it's like cool enumerating it as long as if we just do like an 01 to 5.
Yeah. 244 episodes. Nice. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I didn't realize there was this many. Wow, I don't know whether to be impressed or concerned.
Okay, let's see if the lookup works.
Yeah.
So locations. Yeah, so now you would basically do VLOOKUP Nicaragua. Yeah. And then you would do
episode dashboard. The
episode dashboard from A to E. You have to highlight on the top of the column. So and drag over, yeah. And then you want to do comma after that.
Gotta clicked it and moved the A to
Oh,
E.
yeah.
Why did it? What the?
You want me to try?
Yeah. Hold on, I got it.
If it's doing a weird thing with you.
Episode dashboard. Here we go.
Yeah.
Comma.
And then comma 5 would be the last one. Because you want to pull out the 5th column.
Oh, gotcha.
And that should... Try that.
We have a few that are...
There's a few that are NA. Yeah, probably because the VLOOKUP range is changing with the pull. So you want to lock the VLOOKUP range. So I would reject that.
Reject
the
that.
autofill. Yeah. You want to lock the... Which one is it?
I've done that one before.
So the locking is with the dollar signs. So you basically lock A and E. It's kind of weird though.
Yeah.
Why is it not find? Did not find value Argentina in VLOOKUP evaluation. But it is in there.
Yeah.
Line 19.
Like yeah.
How weird.
It seems like it doesn't even have a title, Argentina Impossible. So it's, I might need to troubleshoot that, but I know you've got to jump today. So.
Yeah, and I think your doggy was making a couple of
my dog is
noises.
getting a little, he needs to go outside. I'm single dog parenting today with my partner in his office. So, but thank you so much for all of it and all the patience as I'm learning that I need to download my
no
own
problem.
settings. So,
it was great to be on stream today.
Yeah. Likewise.
I'm live tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
So,
I will add it to my calendar because I have nothing to do right now.
If you would like, I could just carry this into tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm happy to figure all of that. So I'm gonna be
That
jamming. I
sounds
might do
great.
some data cleanup. So if you catch me, and I'll
Yeah.
just leave some notes where I go.
Yeah, I'll follow up with you tomorrow
Yeah. Thank you so much
before I go
for
live.
everything.
Then. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
No, database design is awesome. It's super fun.
Yeah. I haven't done a whole lot of it's like, like I mentioned beforehand, I've done a lot of like here's existing database that you have been handed. Get things out, adjust. I'm like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to, and so like doing the actual that part of it is fun. So
Absolutely. So let's make sure we also raid out. We should definitely raid someone.
Oh, definitely.
Who are we gonna raid today? How about we raid? Have you got a suggestion for who to raid? I mean, it's your stream. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I'm free to go, but I'm seeing who's live in my. Everybody who I follow is not online right now.
Okay. We can raid long integer. I'll write it in chat.
Perfect. Awesome. Yep, I want to copy. This is why I'm like not a fan of the StreamYard, because it's like, ugh. I'm like, I don't copy in. There, everybody. You're
Awesome.
tuning in. Cool.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you for coming and all the patience and all this stuff. I'm dropping this
Absolutely. And well, see you very soon, for sure.
See you very soon. Awesome. All right, it should be rating in. I clicked it. It said confirm.
I don't see the pop-up yet. You shouldn't be touching any technology today for the rest of the day.
I know. I'm apparently done. Like, where's the pop-up?
You're done with. Did you do /raid in the chat, or did you use Twitch's pop-up thing?
I used the Twitch's pop-up. I'm apparently not doing. They're like, Aaron, you're done with technology today. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna restart my computer. I'm gonna go touch some grass or something.
It's weird. It's not showing. It doesn't show me.
Yeah, it's. We're gonna do it. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Got it. We're in.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you all. Also, it doesn't work through StreamYard. I think that's a StreamYard problem. So yell at them.
Could be.
Anywho, thanks all. Go raid them. Have fun. Spread words. Thanks for all your patience as I'm gonna just touch grass, and abacuses are the rest of my day. But have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yep, that worked.
We're in. Wow.
You just have to turn off your stream. Don't forget.